This video is made for you because chances are you're standing right at the edge of a major trading breakthrough without even realizing it. The answer lies in 5 signs. They're signs of an internal shift happening inside you. And if you recognize at least 3 out of these 5, I can say with near certainty you're very close to your breakthrough. The first sign, and the strangest one of all, is this. You start to feel bored when you trade. Sounds backwards, right? Most of us enter the market for the excitement, the flashing numbers, the constant movement, the possibility that everything could change overnight. New traders are glued to their screens, refreshing charts non-stop, hearts racing with every price move. But here's the truth. Excitement is not a good thing in trading. Excitement brings emotion, and emotion is the enemy of clear, rational decision-making. Traders who are consistently profitable aren't chasing thrills. They're chasing efficiency. And efficiency usually comes from doing the same thing over and over, to the point where it feels almost boring. It's simply the execution of a proven process. Think of a professional surgeon. Does a surgeon feel nervous performing a routine operation? Probably not. That calm confidence comes from having seen the same scenario, practiced the same procedure, hundreds, even thousands of times. Trading works the same way. When you start to feel bored, it's often because you've reached a new level. You're bored because you've seen that setup 100 times before. You're bored because you already know the possible outcomes. Price goes up, goes down, or moves sideways. And that, my friend, is a massive step forward. The second sign, you accept a losing trade calmly, almost without emotion. The biggest difference between a beginner trader and a professional isn't how much money they make, it's how they react when they lose. A beginner trades like a gambler walking into a casino, determined to win every single hand. When they lose, they get frustrated. They feel the urge to win it back immediately. And that emotional reaction is exactly why they often end up losing everything. But the casino owner thinks very differently. They don't care how many people won or lost today. They only care about one thing. The casino made money. Trading works the same way. When you're new, every losing trade feels like proof that you're bad at this. But over time, when a trade hits your stop loss, your reaction becomes very simple. You close the trade, log it, and move on. So why does this shift happen? Because you've truly internalized a core truth. Trading is a game of probabilities. You no longer obsess over individual trades. You look at the entire series. You know your system has, for example, a 60% win rate. That means out of 100 trades, you've already accepted that around 40 will be losers. And once you accept losses as a normal, unavoidable part of the game, you stop thinking like a gambler and start thinking like the house. You understand that as long as you follow the rules and manage risk properly, the edge will work in your favor over the long run. The third sign, your results are no longer wildly swinging from day to day. New traders often have an equity curve that looks like a heart monitor during a medical emergency. Some days, they feel like kings of the world, doubling their account in just a few trades. Then come the disaster days. They break every rule, trade out of desperation, give back all the profits, and sometimes even blow up the account entirely. The volatility is extreme. As you improve, your equity curve starts to look less exciting. You'll still have good days and bad days. But the big difference is this: there are no more wipeout days, no more all-in days. This is a very important sign, and it only appears when you've mastered 3 things. First, you apply consistent risk management on every single trade. For example, you never risk more than 1% of your account on one position. Second, you have a maximum daily loss limit. Once you hit it, you stop. You shut down the platform and go do something else. No exceptions. And third, you've completely let go of the mindset of trading to make it back. You understand that trying to recover losses almost always leads to even bigger losses. This kind of stability may look boring, but in the world of trading, boring is another word for sustainable. And this brings us to the fourth sign. You start obsessing over drawdown, not profits. Ask an inexperienced trader this question. How did you do last month? The answer you'll usually hear is something like, oh, I made 20%, or I'm down 10%. They focus only on the final profit number. But ask the same question to a trader who's moving toward professionalism. Their answer sounds very different. Last month was solid. The profit wasn't spectacular, but my maximum drawdown was only 3%. I controlled risk really well. Do you see the difference? The focus has shifted from attack to defense. New traders only care about how much they can make. Professional traders care about how much they can lose in the worst-case scenario. Why does drawdown matter so much? Because it's a direct measure of the health and stability of your trading system. A large drawdown demands an extraordinary return just to get back to break-even. For example, if you lose 50% of your account, you need a 100% gain just to return to where you started. And that creates enormous psychological pressure. And finally, the fifth sign, the peak of the transformation. You respect the process more than the outcome of any single trade. This may sound abstract, but it's everything. A new trader might take a bad trade, completely off plan, and get lucky with a big win. They celebrate. They feel like a genius. At the same time, they might execute a perfect trade, followed the plan, followed every rule, but the market moves against them and they take a loss. They feel angry. They start doubting their system. A professional trader reacts in the exact opposite way. When a professional takes a rule-breaking trade and still wins, they feel uneasy. They call it a bad win. Why? Because it reinforces a bad habit, a dangerous behavior that will eventually lead to disaster. On the other hand, when they take a loss after following the plan 100%, clear signal, proper position size, exactly 1% risk, well-defined entry and exit, they lose money, but they feel satisfied? That's called a good loss. Because they know that if they repeat that same correct behavior 1,000 times, probability will work in their favor and profits will follow. So if you see yourself in the signs we just talked about, don't give up when you're only a few steps away from the finish line. Keep trusting the process. Stay consistent. Because breakthroughs usually happen right after the hardest, quietest phase. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.